And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WrestlePurists Worldwide. Um, I'm your host, Ibu WrestlePurists, better known to many of you guys as Backup Hangman, and I'm joined as usual by my awesome co-hosts, Anna of WrestlePurists and Montel WP. We're back at it for another loaded show. We got 90 minutes, and I'm ready to go. I think we could do this. I think we'll pull this off. We're going to talk about a lot of different wrestling. It was a stacked weekend. We're going to lead with Bash at Berlin. Full results, full review, full coverage. Thankfully, it's a WWE show. There's only 5 matches, and so we will be able to fit that in as well as a lot of other wrestling. Giulia made her debut for NXT No Mercy. Our thoughts, our initial reactions. We'll get into all of that. We'll talk about Capital Collision, a show that Monty watched, a show that Anna watched. How did Mercedes do? Did she redeem herself after the match with Britt Baker? We will find out. But also some notes on Pro Wrestling Noah, and we're going to have a quick discussion about this AEW All Out card because it is taking shape, and it's looking really fucking good. So, guys, like the video if you haven't already. Send super chats. We'll get your feedback tonight, all that good stuff. And without further ado, Montel, boss man, how are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Weekend had a lot of wrestling, bro. A lot
Yes,
of
it did.
wrestling.
Yes, it did.
I got through what I could, I feel like I saw a good majority of it. Still need to catch up on some of it, but yeah, man, ready to get into it, bro. We got quite a bit to get into today.
It's crazy. Not the last 2 weeks, you've caught more of it than me. It's
I'm
the
a
hectic
professional,
life.
bro. It's what I do.
I guess so. It's the hectic life of Backup Hangman. I did watch Mel Dandy last night. So what can I say? Anna, how are you doing today? This is a big day for you. It just feels like you've been winning a lot lately. In general, it feels that way. So I am happy for you in that respect. And your girl, it was a big day for her yesterday, Giulia. We'll get into that fully. But how are you feeling? What's going on? Talk to me.
I'm good. I have been winning a lot. I feel like after the whole Mercedes Brit match, that was like a huge enough loss for the whole year. So I think I deserved some wins after that for sure. But I'm doing good. I'm on 2 hours of sleep for the past 48 hours. So, pushing through it.
I haven't slept properly either. This shit is crazy. Like, I guess this is just my new normal. I don't know what's happening, but I will lead and say this. Have you guys noticed that AEW, like, they're just acting like Britt Mercedes just didn't happen? They're not talking about the match. They're not playing highlights.
As they
of
should.
It. They haven't mentioned
which
Britt.
Highlight. Ibu, tell me one highlight of that match. Exactly. So there's nothing to play.
Well, I guess you have a fair point there, folks. We have 314 people live in attendance for this episode of Worldwide. You guys are awesome. You guys are jacked up and ready to go. And so if you haven't already, please subscribe to WrestlePurists and make sure to like the video. It really helps pay our bills. It helps put us in position to grow. It also helps me. Don't ask me to explain this, but it does help me acquire scoops for you guys. To then feed the streets, and no paywall here. I just give you guys the information that I can attain. So it's not easy, but make sure to like the video and also send us super chats. Send us super chats if you so please. We'll read them all out. We'll interact with your stuff. I'll answer any questions that I'm able to answer. And with that said, Monty, let's take it away. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it. Austin Kinkle, $2. Appreciate you as always. Roxanne might be Women's Wrestler of the Year. Also, Oba Femi. Yeah, man.
Big fan of Obafemi. And I just love how Roxanne approaches wrestling. Like she doesn't wrestle like a fucking bot, At only 22 years old, man. 22 years old.
Yeah, that's the big thing, bro. It's kind of I think it's like legitimately like amazing,
Do you remember what I said about because this is not a comparing women or downing anybody thing, but do you remember what I said about Isla Dawn, Monty, on the Grin Along on Saturday?
But she has incredible live show charisma.
Well, besides that, I said she wrestles like she has soap underneath her shoes.
Well, that wasn't very nice,
No, the truth is, my problem with a lot of wrestlers, like the newer wrestlers, especially coming from that NXT system, is like they wrestle like they're actively just thinking and trying to remember what was next, like it's a dance or some shit, and it's like a 5, 6, 7, 8, a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's not Roxanne because she's not dancing, she's wrestling. And when you're wrestling, it's natural and it's real, and you feel your way through it, and you ride the crowd, and you take them on the journey. And yeah, I was really happy with her work yesterday.
Yeah, she's great, man. Big fan. Jacob Donnelly, $5. Appreciate you as always. Joe Hendry doesn't bother me that much, but seeing fans immediately want him as a replacement for Bronson Reed is genuinely hysterical.
The problem with Joe Hendry is that people just don't know how to like show restraint. It can't just be a cute little thing or a cute little meme or just a thing. Like it has to be the thing. You know, it has to be the thing that people run into the ground and meme and clamor for and ask for it to get pushed. You know, like when people become memes and they go viral in 2024, wrestling fans are like, oh my God, I need to see this all over the place. I need to see this thing pushed. You know, people wanted him to replace Chad Gable in Money in the Bank. People wanted him to replace Bronson Reed tonight on Raw in the #1 contender Intercontinental match. People were happy to see him challenging Ethan Page for the world title. It's like, dude, this guy is like a fine little wrestler who had a cute little song that people like to sing, and that's fine. You know, I know that the kids like TikTok. I get it, but why am I being subjected to this man being in main events? This is like if Scotty 2 Hotty in 2000 was like having to fight like Stone Cold. It's like, what the fuck, dude? You know? And Scotty 2 Hotty was a better worker than Joe Hendry. But
Scotty 2 Hotty was
yeah, he was a
wrestler,
hooper
brother.
back in the day. If you never watched him versus Dean Malenko at Backlash 2000, check that out. That was a great match.
He probably does have a match somewhere with Steve, you know. But
maybe,
you know, somewhere.
Austin was allergic to those types of mid carders. He didn't want to be around them types of niggas. Maybe Rock definitely worked with them.
No, yeah. Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate you as always. Having been a Jada Parker stan since day one, what
too.
talent, and did so well last night. Should win NXT's North American title at WrestleMania weekend.
Anna, I think it's safe to say that Jada Parker has some live show charisma. I think that's fair to say, right?
I do like her. You know, like I feel like she, not for the same reasons that Ibu liked her, I think, but I generally think like she has a lot of potential. Generally, right. Of course, like last night, I feel like it was the kind of spot that she had to like very much show off, or she was just gonna drown. And she did show off, you know. I feel like a lot of people were kind of questioning her getting this spot, like kind of this early on, like thinking she's too green for this, like a title match, whatever. But she held herself, you know. And also like Roxanne, she, like we're saying, she's 22 and she wrestles like a veteran. She knows how to lead the matches, so I think was probably the best person to like have that match against Jada. And I do think she has a lot of potential. She already knows like some of the basics, you know what I mean? Like if I feel like a lot of wrestlers nowadays, they just don't do the basics. They want to do like a lot of like cool things that they like grew up watching on TV or something, or they see online, but they just don't know the basics. It's just like the basic selling, you know, like her grabbing her ribs, things like that. Like that's just basic. Like she understands like the basic stuff, right? And she does have the talent, so I think she can definitely like build a lot on that. She's still very green, of course. There's still like a lot of things that she can and will improve with time, but I think she has a good future for sure.
It's just crazy. She debuted on TV not even a whole year ago. And I said this about her last week. Every time I see her, she's a bit better than before. And what I really like about her, because like you just said, Anna, it's not like her whole claim to fame is she does these big viral moves or anything like that. Like she just has a fundamental understanding of like what wrestling is supposed to be. And that's what's carrying her through. And because she gets that, and she has really great poise for her experience level, you just watch a wrestling match between these two young women yesterday that like it was just like wow, like the sport is in safe hands, you know. And like you said, she's gonna build on that. So I was really appreciative of that. She hurt her ribs mid-match, like they were targeting the ribs. So later on, she goes for a German suplex, and she's like, "Fuck, I can't do it with my rib." And I was like, "Oh, I love you. Come here," you know. But thank you, Darren. Appreciate it.
Darren also asks, Ibu, who do you think the members of Moxie's new group will be?
I can't answer this question.
Oh.
What about you, Anna? Speculate a bit.
I feel like the speculation that's been going around is like Josh Barnett, and I don't know how realistic that is, but that would be like interesting to say the least. You know, it does interest me. I don't know if interest is the right word. Like the fact that he's basing his gimmick of the character of a Nazi, it's kind of like, oh, where are we going with that exactly? Like, which until when is the inspiration? You know. But I do like Marina Shafir. I feel like this is a perfect role for her. I've never been like the biggest fan of her as a wrestler. Like her in-ring work was never for me, but I feel like this is the kind of work that she can really shine on. So I would like to see maybe another woman, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
I got a question for you, Anna.
I don't know. Yeah, what?
Anna, what do you think about John Moxley's recent midlife MMA hyperfixation?
I don't know how, like, if it's just like recent. I feel like it's something that he always really liked, but so far he didn't really have like the full space to showcase it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it was like now it was the condition that he was able to like pull over Tony, like I'm doing this or I'm out. Like if you want to have me, this is what I'm gonna do. And then now he didn't have like any other option.
Anna,
But
please, before I get held at gunpoint, that was just speculation of the scenario, right? This is not you are not saying that that's what happened, correct?
Yeah. Like,
Thank you.
I'm just saying, like,
thank you.
No. I'm not saying that's what happened. Guys, I'm not
Correct.
evil. I don't have scoops. Everything that I said is like the source is the voices in my head. You know what I mean? Like, I'm it's just things that make sense for me.
Last week, you know what I got hit with? Someone from AEW kind of just slid to me in the corner. Was like, "Hey, where'd you get that bit of info, buddy?" I'm like, "Hey, man, relax, all right?" They're like, "No, just where'd you get that one from?" I'm like, "Hey, just chill out, all right?" You know.
No, honestly, guys, if I say something that is for them, like it's too close, then I'm sorry. You know. I don't know what to say. But yeah, I'm not saying this would happen, but this is what I can imagine that happened, especially with the amount of time that Mox was away and stuff. Like, I would see that making sense, and I would see that also being a condition just for him to be happy at work, because I don't think he was like the happiest for a while. So, you know, but I really don't know, from the people in the roster now, I don't know who I can see that matches that vibe very well. I don't know, from maybe someone that's in Ring of Honor right now, but someone in the actual like AEW main roster, I cannot think of someone. I don't know, Monty, can you think of it?
Oh my God, a super chat popped up that I kind of... Monty, we can't hear you.
Monty, I can't hear you.
So we got into it on the Dynamite review last week, bro. It was we was throwing all kinds of names around, man.
What would be the funniest names?
Barnett, Bobby Lashley. Who else did we throw out there? I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just hoping it's not too bad, you know.
What if like Kazushi Sakuraba is in it? Just give me some old shooters, you know.
That's what we was doing as well, bro. Like Mark Coleman, you know.
What's
Rampage? You need Rampage Jackson in there. That was the big one, I think.
What's Mirko Crow Cop doing these days?
What's Crow Cop doing? I don't know. You know.
I bet you anyone in Bellator would take an AEW contract to pretend to do MMA on TV.
Bro, Dan Lambert's bringing the fellas back in. You know,
that one guy, was it Junior Dos Santos? He looked good in that match.
Arlovsky.
He looked good.
Listen, they're bringing out the
Could you imagine John in the ring? John is like, "This isn't AEW anymore. This is an MMA revolution. This is my fight club." And you're like, "What?"
If full stop, if he just brings out Nakajima and Nakajima is just like slapping, like KOing people with a slap, I'm gonna be fully into
Nakajima.
Like,
all right, here's the thing. I'm locked in for Nakajima and Mox. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm locked in.
Save his career.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Save him from the abyss.
Sorry, like, I love Nakajima. I know he's probably like the worst person, but like, come on, you know, he can wrestle. Like,
Will Ospreay running out to save AEW, and he's like, "You want to fight, bro? I'm from Essex, bro. I've been fighting all my life, bro. You know,
So what are we doing on Wednesday when he walks out and he's got Nakajima on one side, low key on the other?
Oh my god!
what are we gonna do? You know?
Yes.
Because I think that's what we need to consider.
Here comes the money. He's like the man that funded this. Here comes the money.
All right. I'm skipping ahead because that's what we're doing with the you send the big you send the big money. You send the big money and you get to skip the queue a bit. Okay.
Someone said the CTE shield.
Compose yourselves. We got a lot of super chats to get through, but we got a lot to work through right now. How many we got here? We got 26 lined up, bro. So
oh my god.
It's locking. Okay. Rahim,
thank you.
$20. Appreciate you massively. Any news regarding Daniel Garcia? Also, how do talent feel about the move to Netflix? Do they feel they'll have more freedom to speak on how they want? By the way, for AEW, how does Tony Khan feel about talent like Sammy and KO?
All right, I'll quick fire this one. News on Daniel Garcia. AEW feel like he is staying. And as of last week, 7 days ago, he had not signed a contract. That could have changed. There was an offer out for him. WWE is aware of what that money offer was. It was a good offer for him to stay. And he hadn't signed by Monday, but Tony was very comfortable using him because he felt like he could trust him, number one, and could trust in the indication given him, which was that he was likely staying. And that's why they're proceeding forward with what they're doing with him now. So unless something goes really south, AEW fans can breathe easy on Daniel Garcia. So there you go. Move to Netflix. WWE wrestlers don't know what it entails. They don't really know what it's going to mean for the show. Everybody's just been making the same jokes of like, can I say fuck now or what? Speaking of which, there was a talent meeting today where Triple H told people, guys, please stop saying fuck in matches. USA is complaining because people have been doing this and sponsors have been complaining, and Dominic and Rhea were the big culprits of saying shit and fuck in matches when they got chopped or, back body dropped, for example. AEW, how does TK feel about Steen Jericho? He thinks they're tremendous.
Okay. Vacant, 9.99. Punk beat bitter rival in a strap type match after losing the first bout and teases a world title shot. I'm concerned for the timeline we're on. Gunther better not bringing up workers' rights in his promos.
Punk beats bitter rival strap match. Listen, could you imagine? Let me say something to you, Phil. This company, we have rights.
Gunther of all people goes full Twitter brain.
We've seen what you do in other places or something. It's like, what? Oh my god.
And that's assault on $2. White mediocrity will really get you places.
Ain't that the truth?
And that's assault again, $2. Hating Cody is anti-white racism.
Also the truth.
Well, lock me up. No, sir. I don't hate Cody.
Good man.
Scott, $6.99 Canadian. Appreciate it as always. When do you think they'll do Giulia versus Roxanne? Do they drag it out to Halloween Havoc or do it on the CW debut?
That's a great question. The CW debut, Monty, I believe it's at the beginning of October, and the Halloween Havoc's at the end of October. And I have a friend who lives in Chicago, and he was like, because he's whatever with NXT, like he thinks it's fine, but like he was thinking like, I don't want to go to an NXT show, but if Julia's wrestling, I have to go because he's a Giulia fan. And he's asking me, he's basically wanted me to decide for him. He's like, should I go? I'm like, just get the tickets. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know if they do it, Monty, but I do think Giulia should wrestle in some capacity. I'd go Puro mode and put them opposite a tag.
Come on.
My brother's prediction was Vaquer and Giulia. You advertise as you have Cora Jade come back and associate with Roxanne as heels, and you have Vaquer with a mystery partner, and Vaquer is the mystery partner for Giulia. and you do a tag on the first show in Chicago. That was his pitch. That was his little pitch / prediction. But I don't know what they're gonna do.
We'll see. I'm looking forward to see how they treat it. So,
what were you gonna say, Anna?
Yeah. It would be sick to have like Giulia as the main champion and Stephanie like with the North American title, like at some point, North American, like at the same time, But
it'd be sick.
I don't know. Giulia just debuted, so I would give a little bit more space between them. I think. I don't know.
You might be right there, to be honest.
Yeah. I'll definitely if they do. No, in fact, whenever they do it, Halloween Havoc or CW debut, I'd have Roxanne go over on Giulia, to be honest.
What are you? Oh, what?
Bro.
No. No.
Giulia's gonna need space to grow into being a TV star, bro.
I get it. But
I think Roxanne is genuinely good enough that I would have her go through all 3 of the new signings, then have one of them beat her on their second attempt.
I get what you're saying. But I'd rather just I would simply just prolong the title match then.
I was going to say if you're doing it in October, I'd have Roxanne go over. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Roxanne definitely needs to beat Giulia. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're doing it in October, I'd definitely because I just think Roxanne is she's such a safe bet with all the 3 big stars coming in, to have great matches with them. So it's just like you can take advantage of it. So I would either wait on the Giulia world title match, or I'd have Roxanne go over if you're doing it in the immediate future.
Yeah, I would do like the Giulia match like later in the year, maybe like the last pay-per-view of the year or something like that. Or like I do think if it's already in October, for Giulia's sake too, I also think it would be nice for her to have like more time instead of like being immediately thrown into like being the main champion. With like the whole TV thing in the United States is a little bit new for her. Like she's a good wrestler, she has a lot of charisma, etc. But it is like a different environment. So also for like her sake to protect her also from all the discourse and everything.
Right.
I guess.
Right.
Yeah, because I know like people already have so much discourse around Giulia, which is crazy. Like,
it's a bit overthought to me. Like people, I don't know. To me, it's like she comes off like a star, and she's a very good wrestler. It's like I just feel like people get kind of overboard there. Like she wasn't the best in-ring wrestler in Japanese women's wrestling. I wouldn't say that, but it was very clear why the American promotions wanted her, and she's very good. And she comes off like a star, and she looks great, and she got a huge debut, and she came off great in that. It's like I don't know like what take to have beyond any of what I just said there. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I feel like people are overthinking the whole Giulia conversation in general. But
yeah, and like the whole thing that people don't think that Giulia is a good wrestler, like just that 5-star run that she had 2022. I think we talked about it like a couple weeks ago or last week. Just like those matches, like come on, you cannot watch that and be like, yeah, she's a bad wrestler. Like what the fuck?
She knows how to have
she's not. It's not in the conventional sense, is it?
Yeah.
It's not like Giulia's so technically sound. Like
she's not like Shuri. She's not Azumi. Like she's not gonna like. She's not that kind of wrestler. But it's not because like her style is more just like crazy shit that she's not a good wrestler. She's very good at what she does. And people just need to understand like there's different styles of wrestling. You can be good in different ways in the ring. But
Becky Lynch is not a natural athlete by any sense of the imagination. And I've seen many matches of Becky Lynch's that I would call great.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Giulia. Like I said, coming over to the US and stuff. It's a big thing, even just like moving her life over to the US and just getting acclimated in that sort of sense and getting comfortable over here, before like throwing her on TV as their main star, But they will obviously understand the sense of like just pull the trigger, bro, So it's not like a thing where if they did do the match and Giulia won it, I wouldn't be on Twitter like, oh, this is the wrong choice, not a chance of it. But like I said, I think Roxanne is such a sturdy option as champion at the moment with the new stars coming in and just being kind of the champion that they, that one of them will eventually overcome. But give her the chance to wrestle all these new people coming in. Maybe have another Jordan match, you know.
I can't wait to see Jordan Grace officially debut. I'm a big fan of her work, and she tweeted last night, "Time to play the game." So we'll see what she means there. But someone tweeted that they are building an army, and I will say with NXT, I don't care much for the men's division, but there are a lot of women in that division that they're building that I'm really a big fan of.
Yeah, man, a lot of talent, brother.
Yeah,
a lot of talent. Darren, £2, appreciate it as always. WrestlePurists are late because Monty reminded them no cursing.
I apologize to everybody. I was taking care of family, and it kind of bum rushed me out of nowhere, and it threw off my whole schedule. And as a result, I didn't get to watch Collision, which made me kind of sad because I heard Collision was good. There's a kid on that show who faced Tomohiro Ishii that I have to admit, I have to concede, he's been growing on me. And if AO is listening, he'll probably crash and fight me over this and be like, no, I'm not allowed to claim him. And I'm not claiming him. But I will say Kyle Fletcher is he's turning into something, Monty. I have to concede. He had a cape last year and really bad hair. Yeah, but he's becoming a professional.
The real ones, no. Since the Aussie Open days, we've been
the
here.
thing is, let me not be mean. Look, he did have potential, and I get why they like him, and he's really starting to become something now. And anyway, I apologize for being late today. I'll do my best to not make it a habit.
Kale, 50 pesos. I am joining the war on Joe Hendry. Let's go! Side of Joe Hendry.
Fuck! No!
He believes, bro. He also says, on a serious note, Roxanne is so good. Yeah, she's phenomenal, bro. You know, obviously we'll get into it a bit more in a bit. Corey David, $2. Ibu found out who Bronson's replacement. No, I think he's trying to say Ibu find out who Bronson's replacement is over, please.
If you guys don't want to be spoiled, close your ears for 10 seconds. And I'm going to.
I'll put my hand up when he's done.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, all right. Put your hand up now. Oh no, you mean when I'm done? Okay.
Yeah. People want me. You need more now. I can't throw my hand up now. Then you give the spoil.
All right, sure. Bronson Reed will be taking Braun Strowman will be taking Bronson Reed's place. Reed was he has COVID. He was expected to win the match. Strowman now is taking his place. Very unfortunate. Reed was on a really good run lately. And I may or may not have hinted on the Raw review that we were building to a Godzilla King Kong clash with Reed and Braun Breaker. But that'll have to wait. And if you were one of the poor saps that actually would try to run away from a spoiler there, we're done. Thank you, Corey, for the super chat. AO in the chat screamed, "Stay on that side. Stay away from Big Fletch." No, I don't think I will. I'm now the new chairman of the Kyle Fletcher fan base.
Ugh.
We're done.
What?
Legend Rider, $2.
You know
Any
what?
Odyssey Jones update?
The update is that it is a thing. It's not. I honestly thought the website was just botching, but no, it's a thing.
That's why I don't aggregate like someone's not on the roster today. You know?
Yeah.
It's like because they show up, they pop up, they go away, they pop up. Someone shows up with a title one day, or
right.
You know, it can be very glitchy in that sense. So
correct.
I'll wait until like a report comes out that like he's been released or he's suspended or whatever the situation may be. You know.
Right, and so I just assumed it was one of those things. Like it's not like it's just some bullshit on the site, but no, it's a thing. It's a real thing, and he's home right now, and WWE is going to handle that internally, and then we'll start to gather the details when they come in concrete and fuller form. Right now, it's just a little bit of loose and scattered information, but it's a thing, and he is home.
And that's sort of $2. DMD not being mentioned anymore is so beast.
I love it. Let's just keep it like that forever. You know, like, what would be so nice if they just fully like erase her from the company's history. You know what I mean? Like they're talking about like the women's champions and they just skip her. It's like Chris Benoit, but just because she had a bad match. I mean, her whole career has been bad matches. You know, like it would be crazy.
It is crazy that they're just like pretending. You know what would be even wilder if she's in Tony Khan purgatory of like, you know when Tony just sends someone to the shadow realm and you just don't see him for like 5 months, and you're like, what the
Oh,
fuck's
bro,
going on?
Brit wouldn't just sit there and
I
just be
think I think I think
silent if that happened to her, bro.
I think Tony Khan has mentally suspended her for a month for having a bad match. I do think that's gonna happen here. I think he's like, enough of you.
But I mean,
I'll call you in like October.
if that was the reason, then after her first match, she should have been like, out of here. No, it was just like so. Imagine how bad, like all of Brit's matches are bad. Okay, like she does not have like a match that is above a 2.5 for me. Like I'm sorry. Oh, the Thunder Rosa matches.
Not even the Thunder Rosa
They're
matches.
not great.
They're
no, they're not.
They're
very
overrated
I'm sorry.
a little bit, but
They're very over. I'm sorry. Like
the
I
first
love
one is
Thunder Rosa.
awesome.
They're
I
better
really
than a
like her, but
2.5.
like
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
hardcore
not-
one in dailies is great.
They bleed, Anna.
It was really
women bleeding. Ooh,
Taking
crazy.
sick bumps, bleed. Women, men, anyone, a bit
You
of
know
blood.
what? I'll say it.
Insane.
Brit versus Statlander last year. That was good on Collision. That was good.
Brit's in that no DQ shit, whatever it was. Yeah, Brit's blade job in that alone is 3 stars.
The steel
Coast to
cage with
coast,
Thunder
bro.
Rosa wasn't all that. I'll
That's-
admit that. The Thunder Rosa steel cage
No.
one was kind of like whatever.
No,
Yeah, but
it's
Thunder Rosa
overrated.
won
But
the
I'm just
title.
saying,
It was
like,
a nice man.
it's just how egregiously bad, like Brit was for the first time for Tony to open his eyes about Brit being a bad wrestler. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
God
that
bless.
was so bad that Tony finally realized, oh shit. I love it so
Alright.
much. I'm so happy with this whole situation. Sorry. I won like so much.
All right, we need to pick up the pace on this.
Yeah, let's pick it up. Let's pick it up.
Sorry.
Hushed 199. What's Triple H Regal's real feelings on Joe Hendry?
I will have an answer for you on the Raw review.
Matt Hennessy 249. Appreciate it. Great to see you guys. Hope all is well. Any scoops? Any scoops?
Okay,
Very
so
broad
I
question.
asked I did some carny shit to pop her number, and I said that I revealed that I asked AEW what Okada's all-out direction is. And so here's the deal with Okada. They're very happy with his on-screen I'd rather you guys not aggregate this, but they're very happy with his on-screen like charisma and like not the Dave kind, but they basically think that like he's really good on TV and like the comedy stuff. Mercedes would like to do more with him on air, and so they're trying to tinker with how to do that while like not totally bastardizing what he is as a pro wrestler. From a pro wrestling standpoint, obviously there's going to be another match with Claudio Castagnoli. I asked if that will be the match at All Out, and I got a shoulder shrug emoji. So there you go. But I can tell you that is his next major notable match. He's going to defend that against Claudio.
Hush 199, appreciate you as always. The projected 2025-26 WWE women's roster is crazy. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Corey Davey, $2. My boy Tavian Heights officially done with Noah. Seems to be the case.
Yeah. He had that tag with Manabu Soya against Kazuki Fujita and Yoshitatsu. He had a great time over there, and NXT wants him back, and they're allegedly going to push him big.
Dragon Master Adam, £5. Kind of off-topic question, but Deadlock Pro Wrestling just announced their first arena show with a 3K capacity. How do you think it will do? Kenta and Tanaka on the show. They have such good faith with their audience, bro. That, like, if I saw that they sold it out, it wouldn't like shock me. That's obviously very, very, very optimistic, but I think they can put a respectable crowd in there.
I'll say this: I have faith that the card will actually be respectable. Like the actual card, like the names they'll get. Like I could see them getting Roddy on this thing or something like that. They're fairly friendly with AEW, so I wouldn't be surprised if they could get like an AEW name or two. And I'm obligated to watch for Masato Tanaka. I don't know about Modern Kenta. And listen, I will always respect an indie that takes a big swing. So all the best to Deadlock. All the best to Deadlock.
Bro, I was there. I was there for fucking Ibi was literally there for fucking GCW at Hammerstein,
Unfortunately, what a waste of $120.
No, but just like to your point, no, like it is awesome when like an indie promotion does take these big swings, bro. So
Yeah.
I'm all for it. You know, as long as it's like, you know,
That
a good
that
indie that's not
effectively,
full of weirdos or anything like that.
yeah, that effectively killed Game Changer. That fucking
Well, it
shit.
didn't because they're still doing the thing, bro. You know,
Yeah, but
You know,
can you tell me anything that's
it didn't
happened in Game
elevate
Changer?
them to the level that I don't know. You know, you would maybe hope it would have, but you know, they're still very you know, they're alive and well. It seems.
That was the
You know,
worst
that
wrestling show I've
JBL
ever
the other
seen
day,
in
bro.
person. Yeah, that was the worst wrestling show I've ever seen in person, to be honest with you.
Oh man. You know, let's not even get into it. I was going to bring up a couple moments, but
Yeah.
Connor Campbell for 99. What team do you want to what team do you want to face Fraxium? The Good Brothers.
They already did. That was very good.
Yeah, so I'll wrestle them again, bro.
Anyone good? I wonder if the Lucha Brothers are going to face them or if they're going to go to the main roster. Even though allegedly, I forgot who it was. I think it was Fightful that said that Penta didn't want to go to NXT.
I don't. Yeah, I think you can't. I wouldn't put them on NXT, bro.
I don't have strong feelings on it, but I'm curious how they get debuted.
Bro. You can't put the Lucha Brothers on NXT, man.
Could you imagine
they've been like the best tag team in the world, like on US television. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, you know, it's not like they're coming in from TNA, and it's not like there's some like hidden stuff, bro. It's the Lucha Bros.
No, I
like,
agree.
it's a big signing, you know.
I'm aware, and they also know how to be on American TV, like they've been on national.
Exactly. Like, what are they actually developing in the next?
Yeah, nothing.
Ray Phoenix is like.
What's up, Anna?
Did they announce like Rascals against Fraxium, or am I imagining things?
So the Rascals challenged. They challenged them.
No.
They challenged them, and then it was announced to that on this week's NXT they'll be in a #1 contender match for the tag belts, and if they win that, they face Fraxium on the first NXT and CW in Chicago. So that's probably happening.
That would be a very good match.
Yeah, it would. It'd be very good.
It's a good one, brother.
Thank you, Connor.
Black Yakuza 94, $5. Appreciate it as always. It truly says a lot that they're just running Mercedes and Sheeta back from a few weeks ago, almost apologizing to them. Tony feels fed up with Britt.
It actually does feel that way. I got to be honest with you, because like the big conversation coming out of like Wembley was like it should have been Sheeta. It should have been Sheeta, and it does feel like Tony's like, all right, well, let's just do it again, you know. And I liked their first match, but I really would like this one to be like spectacular. I think I need Mercedes to give me a spectacular match, and I feel like Sheeta has. It's been a while since I've seen Sheeta have a match that was that knocked my socks off. It's probably since the match with Jamie Hayter, which I did think was fantastic.
Yeah.
And on a pay-per-view, you'd think that they would have the space and time to achieve that if they really come out swinging. So I told this to AO. I don't want a 3.5, bro. Like I can get that. Mercedes, Sheeta, like let's do something great here, you know. So I really hope it gets to that. I hope it's great.
I hope that they're moved by the hatred that they feel, like, you know, like the personal vendetta. Yeah.
Super Chat, whose name I'll never say, $4.99. Appreciate it as always. Hot take: Jada Parker is already a top 3 promo when it comes to the women involving both WWE and AEW. She just gets it.
I'd have to think about it, but I do like how she carries herself in her promo.
Does feel like a hot take, as in not super crazy, you know, worth considering kind of thing. Don't know, $1.99. Sheeta versus Monet feels like TK apologizing for All In. Basically just touched on that. Hush, $1.99. Appreciate you. Is Solo actually Cody's bad blood opponent? Seems that way.
I don't know. The SmackDown USA premiere is before that, and they do want to make that big. So I am crossing my fingers that Solo is the SmackDown match, and the Kevin Owens rematch is the Bad Blood match.
Well, Chisholm, $5. Appreciate you. Happy for Asuka getting a new deal. We know Tony would have tried to get her. Yeah, that news came out earlier. PW Insider. She's on a new long-term deal with WWE. So, yeah, happy for her. She's currently out injured after having surgery on her knee. So, you know,
the only word I got on Asuka
quickly and comes back. You know,
Asuka was telling people in WWE that she hadn't felt right in a year, physically.
Yeah, they're working through. They work through pain these days.
Yeah, these wrestlers they'll feel awful and just keep going until the wheel is literally falling off. Like,
then just trust the surgeon. You know, it's crazy. To say Rhodes 499. What does TNA look like post Jordan Grace and the upcoming talent purge? Jordan Grace, yeah. I don't think they signed Joe Hendry. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think they're gonna just like ride this wave of momentum that he's had over the past few months, and then
That's the thing.
just
I don't.
dispose of him. Like,
I don't think it sustains to the point where, like, when his deal is up, like, this is still a thing you need to have on your product.
So
Respectfully.
who else is it? Josh Alexander, maybe.
To do what?
This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't think there's going to be this big talent purge that some people worry about or think's coming. Like Jordan Grace, yeah, I think that's as close to a lock as it can be, to be honest. But like,
she's coming.
People
think Bozilla's coming, but she's not even NXT. That's Marigold.
No, but I feel like they have like such a perfect deal with TNA. You know, they can just leave people there and like, just use them. So like, I don't think they, besides Regina, I don't think there's anyone that they would feel like
I don't think they'll go for Speedball either.
Yeah, I don't see that. I'm not sure.
No.
We'll see though. Like, if they showed up in NXT, I wouldn't be like stunned. But yeah,
they should borrow Mike Bailey for some NXT stuff though.
No, I won't be against it. Matt Hennessy 249. Fraser reminds me of a young Rollins / Ospreay.
I agree.
I think that's what he's going for, the young Rollins thing. I think that's what he's been going for a hot minute, to be fair. Alex Diaz 1994.99. Appreciate you. I'm convinced Nathan Fraser is pre-2015. Seth, also any updates on the Lucha Bros and Garcia? You guys are the best wrestling podcast, by the way. Much love to you as well, Alex.
Thank you so
Garcia
much.
Update, obviously, you did earlier. Lucha Bros.
Yeah, he's probably saying anything on the Lucha Brothers. Ray Phoenix is still under contract with AEW still, and Tony won't be going in early. Won't be giving an early release, and it does not look like he's going to add injury time.
Jumanji Hunter for $2. Appreciate you. Some of these Orton takes are complete eye roll.
He's not for everybody. If you like him, you like him, and if you appreciate what he's great at, then that's awesome, and many people do. But I can see why someone wouldn't enjoy Randy Orton's approach to wrestling, and so it's kind of like whatever.
Rusho 1221 $2.79. Appreciate you. Bold mocks the bringing Nakajima to AEW.
I need that.
It's saving from the abyss, bro.
I need Nakajima to shave his head too. Everybody in the group should be bald.
But hold on. Based on the neo-Nazi character, I think we need to cut it off. Got to reel it in a little bit, you know.
In 1997, the New York Knicks, the notoriously physical New York Knicks team, went to the playoffs, Monty, and the rule was black shoes, black socks, and a bald head.
All right, man. Dunno 499. Is Takeshita returning on Rampage a bit of a letdown? He pinned Omega twice this time last year. You would think he would be treated like a bigger deal.
Did you see that match though? Like
it was very good, but it did feel very special.
I know.
Rampage.
Yeah, honestly, if it was up to me, you know, if I had the pen, he would be back in the Casino Gauntlets. Like that was what I was thinking was gonna happen.
I said this on the Dynamite review. Like, I know we got what we got. I don't despise it as much. Obviously, some people are very performatively against it, but like, I know we got Jack Perry in the end. But imagine if Takeshita walked out when Bryan Danielson was talking about, like, you know, someone come challenge me, and he comes out and he's like, "Oh, he just made the block finals of the G1,
right.
You know, and it's like, yo, Takeshita Bryan Danielson is.
No,
give me that match, you know,
for sure.
So, yeah.
Maybe one day, but I feel like Takeshita now for a while, I don't want to see him losing any matches.
Right.
To be very honest.
Right.
He can just retire Dragon. Fuck it.
Not the plan, but that'd be lovely.
Hey man, I won't be against it. I'm telling you, he's the real business, brother. You know?
I'll give you guys something. There's a bit of a fight internally over who should be the one to retire Danielson. There's some disagreement.
See, AO knows, bro. You know?
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. That would have been amazing.
Just walking out there with all these fucking
and I'm not even one of those like, oh my god, it's Jack Perry. What the hell? I'm not even doing that. It's just like, you know, I would like Takeshita would have been big time.
Corey David, $2. Ibu, what's your brother's thoughts of Joe Hendry?
He loves him. Like he absolutely loves him. He fucking loves Joe Hendry.
Sees him on TikTok. He's like, yeah, man. That's a star, brother.
And the unfortunate thing is we have a lot of philosophical arguments about wrestling and like what works and what's right about the business. And when Joe got the reaction that he got yesterday during the match, he's just looking at me like, I'm tired of being right, dude. I'm just tired. Like this is just whatever, it'll do that thing. I'm like, leave me alone.
Anjan PN $2. Dr. Voldemort DMD. Hashtag Pete gone. Hashtag don't come back. Hashtag Omegaism.
Don't come back.
And is very happy.
Britt follows me now, so we're buddies.
You've been welcomed here. The Fletch.
Yeah, thank you. Listen, I'm assuming control now as the leader of this fan base, and we go from here. We go from here. I don't know about
think someone, Anyway, Kyle 50 pesos. Just kidding. Joe Hendry bad. Tomato. Get out of my Fed song merchant. Boo. How would you guys rank Io versus Bailey, Rhea versus Charlotte, Sasha versus Bianca, Becky versus Bianca?
These are all the big three. These are the 4 famous Mania women's matches. I'm gonna go quickly because I heard Kale ask this to Joe, so I already thought about my answer. I think Rhea Charlotte is the best WWE women's match of all time. The one at Mania 39. More so just because it just played to my taste, because they had like a Japanese match in the big stadium. I'm gonna go Becky. I'm gonna go Becky Bianca over Sasha Bianca only because in the moment when I watched it, there was so much worry and trepidation on my end that Bianca was going to lose because WWE was fucking stupid and they were a stupidly booked promotion. And so I did consider it, crossed my mind, she might lose again. And so when she didn't, I actually teared up. I was really, really happy. So I'm going to go with that as number 2. Right behind it is Sasha Bianca, which is historic, which is an excellent match. One of Mercedes' best matches in WWE. And then number 4 is Io Bailey, which I did think was a great match, but does not have the significance of the previous 3 matches in my list. Do you guys agree with that list, or would you rearrange anything?
I would generally I was like, there's a lot of discourse like, oh, Rhea Charlotte is super overrated. I generally think it's like a great match. I don't think it's the best WWE women's match ever, but I think it's between these matches, it's also my favorite. Like the way they turned the crowd around, like people do not realize like it was one of the first women's match in WrestleMania history that I've seen people just going crazy, screaming, "This is awesome!" the whole time. Like it was beast. Okay, like it's not overrated. I feel like it's very well. Like for me, that's the best like actually wrestling match. If I was gonna say like for the moment, the whole thing, like Sasha and Bianca is first, but for match like in ring work, Rhea Charlotte. Then I would say maybe Becky Bianca, Sasha Bianca, and Io Bailey. Yeah, I would agree with you on that one.
Monty?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same as Anna, to be honest, where I'd say in terms of like if we're just looking at it as like, I don't know, like a critical, like rating the match sort of thing, I'd probably go with the same list, Rhea and Charlotte, number 1. But in terms of what was my favourite, what was the most like special to me, it would definitely like unquestionably be Sasha versus Bianca. So yeah, I'm kind of with you.
Just the moment that they stare in the ring, like
oh yeah, it's great. Yeah,
there's nothing like it. Yeah.
Thank you, Kel.
Okay, 2 left. Dev to Dust, $2. Thoughts on Joe Hendry versus Miz match? Go fuck yourself. Hush 199. Will TK give Ricky another try, or is it over? I think it's over.
Like John Legend said in his song, the song being called "It's Over" on the album Revolver. It's over.
One last one before we get started. Corey David, $2. Ibu, would your brother host an NXT review show? Even I can answer that. Absolutely not.
He doesn't enjoy wrestling enough to do that. No,
absolutely not.
Real beast.
He enjoys calling Ibu a mark too much.
Yeah. It's funny, Monty. He cameoed on a Raw review. I had him. I had him on to give like a take.
Yeah, man, I remember.
Yeah. People liked it. He just buried me and called me a mark. He interacts with wrestling the way like real people in the real world act with wrestling, who aren't like sickos like us. He's just kind of like, yeah, it's pretty cool, and You know, I don't know. He likes to sing. But it's time, folks, for Bash in Berlin. Thankfully, even though we have very limited time left, thankfully the show is very short. But I had fun with this show. I actually thought this, for my taste and what I want out of an event, which is good matches and good vibes, I liked this show very much. I thought this was the best Triple H pay-per-view of the year. SummerSlam was more eventful from a storyline standpoint and like booking results that lead to big directions. But I like the matches better on this one. So I was happy with this show, 5-match card. I'm going to open with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. And I want to say that we had a big heated discussion last month about the previous match with the bracelet and the Seth Rollins and the melodrama and all that. And I liked it, but I understood why people didn't like it. And Anna thought it was a piece of fucking shit. And Monty was kind of in the middle and was like, oh, I liked it, but I get why.
I liked it.
Right.
I was like fully hooting and hollering for it.
Right. So this one was a 4-corner strap match. Basically, they're strapped together. They got to whip each other. But it's not pinfall or submission. Someone has to tap the corners. They put up the big lights on the corners of the ring so that like you could see the visual indicator, which I understood why they did that. But like I just hate like toy set visuals like that. So that was annoying to me. But I predicted going into this match that this would be more of what I wanted from these guys, which is physicality and hatred and intensity, while still being a little bit short of what they could fully peak at, which they'll probably reach in Hell in a Cell. And that's what I got. But I actually got an even better match than I expected. I thought this was like borderline great. I love this. The heat was great. There was a lot of physicality. Drew was intense. Punk was intense. Punk looked good in this match, in my opinion. And he bled a little bit. Who knows how he bled? Did he blade? Did he hard away? Who knows? I emoji. But the bottom line is he got some blood. He did the sharpshooter. He got his bracelet back and paid that off. He gave Drew McIntyre 4 GTSs at the end and tapped the corners. And got the big triumphant heroes victory here. And I thought this was a satisfying, cathartic close to this chapter of the story. Punk wants to go for the World Heavyweight Championship now. He will try to get that. He will try to challenge for that tonight. We'll see how that goes. But I thought this was very good. What did you think, Anna? Did you like this match or did you hate it like the one at SummerSlam?
I didn't hate it, which I feel like
Holy
it's
shit!
a very positive.
Oh my God.
You know, I went into it like, yeah, I was like
this
expecting
is all right.
to hate. Honestly, like I was watching it, and because like I watched it today, you know, so it was after I saw like all the tweets, people like shitting on the stipulation and like
right,
you know
right.
all the like after CM Punk matches, there's always like the whole thing, and I was like, okay, I'll probably hate this again, like whatever. Then I was just like, oh, it's alright, you know, like it's not bad. I'm like, damn, it's not great, but it's not bad. It was like they worked well. And from all the things that I heard about the stipulation, I was expecting like everyone saying like, oh, it just breaks the tension every time and it ruins the pace of the match. Like I understood why they chose that stipulation. It's still not my favorite strap match stipulation, of course.
Yeah.
But I understood why they chose it. You know, I felt like the other ones, yeah, you have to pin, submit someone, whatever. But this one, it feels like you have to keep your opponent down like for longer. You know, you have to like break them so much that you have the time to like tap off for corners. Which I guess for their rivalry, it does make sense that they would want the other person to just be like broken and down like the whole time. And when Punk was just like hitting the GTS, it's like it made sense to me. I hated the lights. It was really goofy looking.
Yeah.
Really like stupid. But I understood like why they did that stipulation, so I didn't hate the stipulation as well, and I think it was like pretty solid. I think it was one of the best Punk performances in a very long time, and yeah, it was like all right.
Yeah,
you
know what? Anna thinking a Punk match is all right is like Dave Meltzer. That's like a Dave Meltzer form, you know? So I'll take it. It. Monty, did you like this one?
Yeah, of course it is. You know, Punk bled. You know, there was heat.
Yeah,
bracelet. You know, I'm here for it. Nah, honestly though, I thought Punk looked great out there. Visually, same issue that you two guys had with the lights was just a bit like toy set. Just, you know, just kind of silly looking kind of thing. When it comes to the actual stipulation itself, it's all about just like when you do the 4 corners thing. It's just about how you apply it. So it's just everything that Anna just said, basically, said like you want to like kill your opponent that bad that they just cannot move, or you stroll around the ring and tap these four corners. The only thing I don't like about the four corners match, and they only did a little bit of this in the match, but I didn't like it when they did it. To be fair, we are doing a review. Like when Punk would be reaching and Drew would be like pulling him back, and it's like, well, obviously he's not like down and out, and it looks like you're trying to like get away when you're doing that. It's like the escape the cage thing,
Right.
We spoke about this when we was watching it live with Joe, Joe and Caden the other day. So, but overall, I did love the match. He had like a certain grit to it, as Punk matches certainly do. Punk bled, popped me very much, and it felt like it scratched the itch that I wanted it to scratch, and I think they'll take it to another level if they do the Hell in a Cell match, and that'll be like the real one we remember, the one in the cell. So
exactly.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. Like, I think that some match is absolutely going to be the best one out of these, and I was very happy with this one. The thing about like some of those like moving pieces, like Punk wanted the bracelet back, but it wasn't like his focus of the match. He wasn't like, "Give me my bracelet," the whole match. And with the four corners thing, like it could have been a fucking Nickelodeon game show race the whole time, where they're just all like trying to tap and dodge each other and tap, and it's like, what is this fucking? I guess it's like what is this shit? A video game, But is this freeze tag? But no, they're just fighting each other, and one guy's going to get incapacitated and the other one taps. So it's like very Bruno Sammartino. Yeah, man, I think we'd all agree that this was a successful effort. So good for CM Punk, and he gets the big win. Elsewhere on the show, actually in the opener, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, two really good friends. Cody Rhodes was introduced to the Young Bucks by Kevin Owens. They have a personal relationship here. They've been good friends. Kevin Owens has been a big help to Cody Rhodes in his fights with the Bloodline, and Cody felt that Kevin Owens deserved a reward for his troubles, and that reward is a title shot. Kevin Owens doesn't feel like he deserves this title shot. Kevin Owens also isn't comfortable with this shot because he knows the man he becomes when he pursues a championship. And so what was going to give here? Was Kevin Owens going to just continue to be content with mediocrity, knowing that he's grown as a person as a result of it, or was he going to revert? And so we had this match, and it was very heated, and they went back and forth for about 25 minutes. And the big thing that happened here was Kevin Owens saw Cody Rhodes tweaked his knee, the same knee that he pointed out on SmackDown. And he said, "I know you hurt your knee on a house show." And Cody's like, "I'm fine. Like, fuck that." But Kevin Owens didn't want to attack it. He told the referee, check on the knee, and he wanted the ref to bail him out. He thought about doing the apron powerbomb, the same one that crippled Sami Zayn. Couldn't bring himself to do it, wanted to win another way. Ultimately, Cody Rhodes beat Kevin Owens. He did like 17,000 crossroads to do so, because the crossroads is the weakest finisher in pro wrestling. But Cody Rhodes got the big win here. The crowd was super into this one. They were into both guys. There wasn't really a heel here. They just kind of chanted, "Let's go, Cody, let's go, Kevin." And judging off my timeline, I think I'm the high man on this match. I thought this was actually one of the better matches of the year from WWE. And I just love Cody Rhodes' pacing, and I love how Cody Rhodes structures these big matches against anybody not named Solo Sikoa. I just think he's very good. He's a master of the WWE pay-per-view style, and the crowd was so into this one, and they started riding that wave and getting into the next couple gears. But I thought this was a great match, and I thought this was actually the best match on the show. What did you think of it, Anna? We didn't talk about this one off here, so I'm curious what you thought about Cody and Kevin.
Well, I was I was just a bit bored by it. I'm sorry. I don't know. It just didn't get me. You know what I mean? I love Kevin Owens, and I love when Kevin Owens is just wrestling and going for it, and he wants, and I do understand the story, but I feel like I want to see, I didn't think it was a bad match. I just think that because of the story and because of the kind of the whole thing that they built for themselves, it didn't reach what I expected it to reach. And I would like to see maybe a rematch in the future with Kevin just fully being himself wrestling, wanting to win the title and being the prize fighter, all of those things again, because he is so good. Kevin Owens is fucking amazing, and everyone knows he's great, but I feel like people don't realize how great he actually is. He's so good. And when he fights with a purpose, when he fights with a purpose and just that thirst for blood or something. He's just something else, and I felt like I missed that a bit. So for me, it was just like a bit boring. I think that they both did great. Like the performance in itself was very good. I understood the story and everything, but it just missed that little spice, for me.
Okay, quickly. Do you think he will turn heel, and do you think he should turn heel?
I honestly, yes and yes, because
Okay.
I don't see like a lot more to go with just the like, oh, we're friends, I can do this.
Right.
No, I want to
right.
see Kevin was like running shit, or
Gotcha.
like maybe if he doesn't turn heel, I just want to see maybe like her for one match he just acts like a heel, or he was just like, whatever, Cody, like I'm just gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna go all out on you.
you wanted this, yeah, and then afterwards they can go back to being friends. But I want to see
Right.
Kevin always going like all out, and I think a match against him, like against Cody, with Kevin going all out, then I think it might be like great,
Gotcha.
But this one for me just missed like the one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Monty, what did you think of this one?
Really like this as well, Bill. Yeah, man, just a real world title match. It was more kind of like you could tell it was like very much you could tell. Like, obviously, they were going for it with the babyface versus babyface dynamic. And obviously, like Kevin Owens would kind of show glimpses of aggression, especially obviously in the later stage, like when he kicked out his knee and stuff like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, to be honest. I really enjoyed the crowd heat, European WWE PLE. Nothing too surprising there. And yeah, I thought it was just a really good match, in terms of to have in front of a hot crowd like that. Kind of, yeah, but you keep disappearing and coming back and in and out.
Really?
It's kind of, yeah, bro. I don't know what's going on with
Can
you.
you guys
It's
hear
happened
me?
twice. She threw Anna off as well earlier when she was giving her a little review.
I thought her Wi-Fi went out then. All right, well,
No, you disappear.
No,
Now you've got no picture either.
All right, I'll fix that, and before I fix it, I'll start it off by saying, give whatever takes you guys have on the women's tag title match between Jade and Bianca versus the Unholy Union for the next minute, and I will fix this.
Okay, so Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, they win championships back from Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. I thought the match got off to quite a promising start, to be honest. I thought they were doing a pretty good job. Towards the end, there was a few spots that got a little bit awkward, but I don't think it actually fully fell off the rails or anything like that. So in the end, I thought they had a pretty all right match, to be honest. Obviously, Jade and Bianca was obviously the way to go with the champions. So yeah, happy to see what they got cooking for them. Hopefully, they can make the tag division a lot more interesting. And yeah, like really, really, really get going with it. Because a lot of people make a lot of like Jade's progress since she's been in WWE, but I think she is like noticeably smoother, to be honest. I don't think she's someone where you're like, oh my god, she's ready for a WrestleMania singles match or anything like that. And I can understand some people thinking it's taken a while because it is taking a minute with Jade. But like I said, I do think you can, especially like in the tag matches and stuff. I think you can noticeably like tell that she's a lot more like comfortable and just a bit more smoother out there. Not saying she's a technical mastermind or anything like that, and she's no Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, but like I said, I think a confidence more than anything is like one of the biggest things you notice when she's out there. So yeah, but what did you make of it then, mate?
I like the Jade and Bianca team. I just like seeing them together, and as a match, I thought this was not bad and not anything crazy. I thought it was just like fine, and
yeah, like it did the job. Like I like
Correct.
all the wrestlers that were in the ring, and it just did the job.
Yep.
But at the same time, for me, it's just the thing. Like, come on, you have like all of those wrestlers, and you can put together like a good match, like a great match.
Right.
We know like how Bianca can wrestle. We know how Alba and Isla can wrestle. Like they're all really, really good wrestlers. Bianca would even say is a great wrestler. Jade's just getting there. I understand maybe they didn't trust her that much, but you still have 3 very good wrestlers in the ring. So for me, it's just like the thing. Like you could have booked the match a bit better, but yeah, it was okay. Like it did the job. But it could have been more. But that's just the feeling that I have, like with all women's tag matches in WWE right now.
Yeah, Well, I like the EO ones on Raw because EO is just incredible. But like, yeah, they're just generally like there usually. Like they're usually like above bad, but like not like that good. You know what match did achieve more, Anna? I don't know if you caught it, but there was another tag match on the show that you could argue was the second best match on the show. I loved this. It was a mixed tag, Liv Morgan and Dominic versus Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. I expected this to be like fun. I was like, this will be like fun. And I wasn't crazy about Liv and Rhea at SummerSlam. I thought it was kind of okay. You liked it more than I did. And then on this night, oh my God. Rhea Ripley, I was told by WWE that she took it easy at SummerSlam because she wasn't fully confident in the shoulder yet. And she was just unleashed here. This was all about the hot tags from Rhea and Damian, beating the dog shit out of everybody, clearing house, looking like killers, looking like badasses. But Liv Morgan bumped her fucking ass off in this match. And so did Dominic Mysterio, bumping his fucking ass off in this match. Liv Morgan ran up the steel steps, jumped off of it, and did a sunset flip powerbomb horizontally onto the fucking barricade. And I was like, what? I was like, what? And she also did a fucking I forgot the move, what it's called, but it's a lucha move where like you kind of like you got the person on the side and flip over and like kind of like slam.
No, it's a Sakia Kai's finisher.
Right.
Joshi.
She did that. I think this is the best Liv Morgan match of all time because I thought this was fucking awesome. The other Judgment Day geeks run out, like JD McDonough and Carlito, they were there to get their asses kicked by Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. Finn Balor interferes and does a sling blade for a big distraction there. Dominic got the 619. You're thinking, all right, this is where the heels win. Damian Priest kicked out. It was really triumphant. You're like, oh shit, he powered out of that. Oh my God. And at the end, Rhea Ripley hits her finish. Damian Priest hits his finish. This is triumphant. This is exciting. The fans are losing their minds. And the Terror Twins, as WWE calls them, Rhea and Damian, got the win and overachieved in my opinion. Like I thought this was going to be fun, but this was like awesome. I was a big fan of this. Were you a fan of this, Anna? Did you catch it?
Yes, this was so beast. I was expecting the same thing. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like an okay match. It's gonna be like fun, whatever. Oh my God, like they went there to deliver. Like all four of them. I think was probably also my favorite Dominic match. Just I think they all play their roles so well. You know what I mean? Like people, they always have like the discussion about like, oh, in ring versus storyline. I feel like this was the match that most perfectly in this show, at least for me. And we're talking about the whole KO Cody thing, whatever. But like it encapsulated the storyline in the ring. Like they put them together so well. Like they all play their roles perfectly, like to a T. And they had good moves. Like when Liv hit the fucking Sakia Kai's finisher, I was like, what is this one doing? Like, it popped me so hard. And also, like the like bomb off the apron, Rhea, she just hits like freaking the neck bump on the barricade. I think they all did like such a good job. All the bumps that they were taking, it was just crazy. You felt like they hated each other. If that would have been the Bad Blood match, I wouldn't like changed a single thing. It just felt like that. Like they fully hated each other. You could feel the whole tension. Like that, it was actually like really, really fun. It was one of my favorite WWE matches that I've seen like in a while, which is why, not counting like Gunter matches or something. Of course, they're like in another level. Right. They're just some of my favorite wrestling matches, period. But like WWE style matches, it was great. Like I generally really enjoyed that one, and I didn't expect to enjoy it this much, so it was really fun.
What did you think, Monty?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Leaving Dom bumped the asses off, bro. Rhea and Damian, they're seen as big stars, big reactions. It's a lot of fun. Good time, man. It was a good time.
I thought the main event was also a good time. Randy Orton in the main event faced Gunther, and I did not think this was as good as their first one in King of the Ring. I thought that match was like unbelievable, and different role here. This was longer, and Randy Orton was like a subtle heel because they definitely went in thinking like, all right, Gunther's gonna get cheered in Germany, so Randy's gonna work heel, and so Randy was in control more than previously, and Gunther kind of had to make a bit of a comeback. And I prefer when Gunther is just kind of in control, dominating in the match. rather than having to like sell, because Gunther's control is much better than Randy Orton's. But even still, these guys are just awesome wrestlers. And so I enjoy the music that they make. And Randy got a little bit excessive with the kind of catching his breath selling that he was doing later in the match. A lot of Randy Orton breath catching selling later. He was in agony and he was fucking gasping for air, and he took forever to kind of do some of that stuff at the end. But with all that said, I thought this was still a great title match, and I just, like I said, I love the music that they make. I love the vibe that they give off when it comes to calling it in the ring and all that type of stuff. So I thought this was awesome, and it was a great first victory for Gunther. He won after Randy went for an RKO. Gunther got out of it, chopped him on the back of the neck, and then choked him out. And Randy Orton passed out, and it was a great finish. Randy Orton did not get pinned, so he was protected in defeat. And Gunther retains, and I thought this was strong. What did you think, Monty?
This was bloody lovely, Bill. You know, from the first lockup, you know, just two athletes, high level athletes out there struggling for positions. You know, real, just bro. This is what it's about. You know, calling it in the ring. You know, some hard hitting stuff in there. Taking your time, letting the crowd direct the pace. The way Randy Orton can just kind of like ride the wave of whatever the crowd's doing is like, it's shit that I'm sure people tell you needs to be studied, you know, because it's just it is something to behold, to be fair, I think, you know. He gets every last bit of the reaction out of the crowd, you know, whether it's just a look, whether it's just slowing down the way that he's walking around the ring, whatever it may be, you know. He knows how and when to tease things, his timing, all these things that people have said about Randy Orton for years. But when he's got a crowd like this, you really get to see it. Like I said, the way he just rides the crowd and kind of feels out the match that he feels like he should have. And 9 times out of 10, he's absolutely right, you know. And Gunther, of course, is Gunther. Gunther's legitimately like one of the greatest wrestlers walking the planet right now. So he did more than play his part in this match. I love it, man. This is what I love, you know.
Yeah, and it was classy. They shook hands at the end. It was really it's like it's the sport, you know what I mean? And it's why I just like, I don't know. It's why I had a good feeling about this show. Like I just thought that like most of the matches were good, or even better, save for the women's tag, which is just kind of fine. But I thought it was a great way to close the show. Did you catch this one, Anna?
No, I didn't. Like, I had
That's
a very limited amount of time to catch
Correct.
wrestling, so I just decided to like catch the ones that I knew I would gonna have like a stronger opinion about. Because Gunther matches, I'm gonna watch it later because his matches for me are just like, yeah, they're fucking great. I have nothing else to say. Like, he's just one of the best in the world, and that's that, you know. But I will definitely watch it later because Gunther is just what a guy, what a champion.
Absolutely.
I still believe he should like break records with the title reign. I do not want to see. I'm sorry to John Cena, but you know, just retire later. It chose a bad time, buddy. Like,
I absolutely. One thing that you did catch was obviously Jada Park and Roxanne. We spoke what's it called? We spoke about this extensively already through super chats. But I'll just give you guys the floor now. Do you have anything additional to say about Roxanne versus Jada or the Giulia debut?
Giulia debut. We
I
didn't
just
really
have
get into the Giulia debut, did we?
yeah.
we spoke extensively about it. So I'll just now's the chance. You guys have anything else to say?
Roxanne. Like I said it earlier. Roxanne's amazing. Like, genuinely, like, almost awe-inspiring. She's 22 years of age, and I tweeted it like, but
did Monty freeze?
It's kind of crazy.
Did Monty freeze or did I freeze?
He froze.
Okay, yeah.
I'll definitely frozen. How long did it freeze for?
5 seconds.
About 5 seconds.
Okay, yeah. Roxanne Perez, awe-inspiring. She's so good at leading matches. She's so wise beyond her years. She's so smart, you know. And Jada did. I thought Jada looked great out there, you know, in terms of she did what she needed to do. You know, she could hang in a women's world title match, which was great for her, and she's progressing really well. And all the things that you guys were saying about earlier, I agree with. But Roxanne made it so easy for her, bro. Like, all she had to do was sell and plug a few moves into the spots that Roxanne set up for her. Like, it just, not to say that she got carried, you know, but like obviously that was the intention of Roxanne leading the match and making Jade have the opportunities to kind of shine in the right spots, which she did like flawlessly. Like someone who, like this she gives these performances in these title matches that I'd expect from someone like a fucking Bailey or someone like that. You know, like she's phenomenal, bro. Like I think she's 100% of WrestleMania Women's World Title winner one day. Could potentially main event one of the nights. She is that good. So shout out Roxanne, shout out Jada. That was a huge success, and obviously I feel like we should let Anna just kind of spit about Giulia a bit.
Anna, talk to me.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Giulia debut?
I think it was okay. Before she debuted, I feel like it's the fear of everyone, you know, when someone goes to NXT, it's like, oh my god, the music is gonna be so shit. Like that Bravo is just gonna be like, arrivederci, something like that, you know?
Oh, that
like,
would have. Oh my god!
It's like the
Molto
worst
bene.
thing. It was the most like, oh, I was just expecting the worst thing ever, but then like the lights went off, the smoke started to come. I'm like, oh shit, like this feels like a big deal, you know? Like they made her. It wasn't just like a bright screen, Giulia, hey, she comes out. Like no, it felt like the like final, the smoke, like felt like the final boss just like walking out, you know? Like oh, it was. And this song, I generally really like the music. And you know, and as a Giulia fan, we are used to her being dressed horribly with the hairs that sometimes are very like, oh, I don't know what she's doing with that one. And like the fact, the sound, the fact that she was generally like looking amazing. I was gonna say head to toes, but the boots, head to like middle of calves. You know, like the boots kind of. But you know, we're Giulia fans. We're used to her being like very badly dressed, and I do hope NXT makes that better because I don't know if you guys remember how Io used to dress before NXT, but it's a lot better now.
Her fits were crazy.
It was insane. I don't know if anyone. Okay, guys, I just need you guys to Google like to see pictures. I think like Io in Stardom 2016 or something. Her hair. The chemical like haircut, you know what I mean, when someone dyes their hair too much and then they just have to like do the chemical cut. That was her hair. It was fucking terrifying. She was the most blessed person by NXT in history. Like she's just like a completely different person right now. And yeah, anyway, that hair has haunted me for years. But Giulia, she just came off looking amazing. The song, everything, the ambience that they built around for her, it just made her feel important, like immediately. Even if you never had seen her before, you had no idea who she was, you're just like, oh shit, like this is a big deal. Like she's serious, you know? So I think everything that they did around it was great. Of course, I was nervous. I think everyone, I don't know if people remember when they first announced that she was going, like how sad and desperate and like desolated I was. And now I'm actually excited because the debut was so well made that I'm looking forward to see her in NXT and seeing her in that position. I want to see which direction they go with her character. Because Roxanne is the heel, so she's not going to be a heel, but her whole presentation just makes her feel like she's the one to beat, you know, like the final boss, the Rock final boss kind of situation. But I loved it. I feel like they killed it. They hit a nail on the head with that presentation, with that debut. Sucks that it didn't close off the show. I feel like it should have. That last shot of them staring at each other should have been like the last shot of the whole show. But I'm really, really happy like with the way that things were made. Like I didn't expect to be happy, but I guess I'm happy with Giulia in NXT. You see how crazy life is?
You used to stress about like, oh my god, she's gonna go there and be Giuliana Gucci. And,
Gucci, yeah.
The thing is,
they kept her name. No, I was stressed for a second. Like when she walked out, I was trying to see the screen because everything like extra smoke. And I was like, wait, does it say Giulia?
They were like, oh my god, Booker, it's Giuliano. It's like what? Vic, it's over. Giuliana Gucci. It's like, but nah, she's Giulia and she looked great. And I thought her debut was great. And genuinely, I could feel the aura. I was like, that face off was great. But Monty, is there anything you have to say about anything else on this NXT show? I thought it was like largely just all right. It's nice to see Axiom and Frazier with the belts again. They're the best team in the world this year. And Obafemi remains awesome. And Hendry didn't stink it up out there, and the crowd was really into him, so good for him. But did you have anything you'd like to add on the show?
No, not really.
Awesome.
It was
So,
it was actually nice to see that the NXT title match didn't like completely stink it up. You know,
right.
A lot of people were concerned about that. So it was good to see them like wrestle within themselves and kind of have like just a really good heated main event. It was a fun time.
Absolutely. So good for NXT. Moving on, Capital Collision was this weekend, and Mercedes Moné faced Momo Watanabe for the Strong Women's Championship, unless I'm mistaken. And Momo, she's now in the hate stable, is she not, Anna?
I don't want to talk about it, Ibu.
Right. But she is in the hate stable. She did main event this show with Mercedes Moné. I watched it. You guys watched it. I didn't love it the way Twitter seemed to, because I tried to gauge the opinions of like my beloved community around my account, and people seemed to really like it, and it was good. Like, every Mercedes Moné match with anyone halfway decent is good. But it wasn't like, it didn't like knock me off. To be completely honest with you, I think part of it was the atmosphere. I cannot do the atmosphere of these New Japan Strong shows. It's so dark and cold and quiet and cacophonous. And the production, it looks like shit. It's like filmed in like 360p. But I tried to overcome that, and the work was enough to where I could, and I thought it was a good match. But I'm curious, Machi, what did you think of Mercedes and Momo? It was obviously better than her all-out match.
I can understand why so many people were kind of like high on it, because it was such like, you're coming out of that Wembley match with Britt Baker. So please, can we just have something resembling decent, you know? And I thought it was I thought it was decent, to be honest. I thought the first half was pretty like just like okay, like just kind of like almost going through the motions. Didn't enjoy Momo's heat segment much at all, to be honest. What else? But I thought the match had a really good closing stretch, which is where you're like, all right, this is clicking. You know, like Mercedes is doing what Mercedes does, sort of thing. You know, and the thing that was going through my mind towards like the end of this match was like, Momo's not a bad wrestler or anything, and of course this was a lot better than the Britt Baker match, like unquestionably better. You know, but I'm ready now to watch like Mercedes like wrestle the real demons that we wanted her to wrestle when she first left WWE, you know. Obviously we're getting the Shida match again. Out of that match, to be honest, she was like, I think the match will be really good. And I'm actually the same place where you are, Ribu, in terms of like, I liked the first match, but it did feel like they had like a more like explosive pay-per-view match, you know. So hopefully we do get it all out, you know, and have a great match. But I don't know, man. I was kind of Queen Aminata versus Mercedes. That fires me up. I think the Serena Deeb matchup could be like really interesting. I don't think it would be pay-per-view worthy though. I'd be interested to see kind of just the level of effort that Thunder Rosa would put into a Mercedes Moné match would be like incredible to see, you know. So I wasn't exactly jumping up and down when Sheila got that number one contenders match, but I do think there is absolutely the opportunity for Mercedes to do something special on tape. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully more opportunities for Mercedes to really hit that top level. You know, like it's nice to see a wrestler like your Momo Watanabe's and whoever else it may be, you know, but like let's cut the shit, you know.
I want to see her wrestle Queen Aminata. I'm glad Aminata was back on
Yes.
the AEW programming, because she started off so well this year, and then she went to ROH, and I think she's one of the better TV wrestlers that they have in the mid card. So I'd like to see that match on TV. Anna, what did you think of Watanabe and Mercedes?
The disrespect for Momo Watanabe here is crazy. This is insane. Like, Momo, holy shit. Like, Momo was one of the matches that when Mercedes first left WWE, like, I was like, please let her wrestle Momo. Like, people don't realize, because Momo has been stuck in just being a loser for the past couple of years for some reason. I don't know like what they have against her over there, but she is objectively one of the best Stardom wrestlers. When they let her just like go crazy and go wild, and she has like the moment that she can do the things that she is good at, like that woman is a beast, you know. Like she's absolutely insane in the ring. Like Queen's Class Momo is one of the greatest of all time. Like she's fucking phenomenal. No, Queen's Class Momo, like that era, come on. Like no, she is like a fucking beast, okay? Like Momo Watanabe is legit like great. And I genuinely believe that she's one of the best Stardom wrestlers to never win a red belt. And I do hope that she can win it one day. I would absolutely love that for her. People don't really, I think people are forgetting. We need to remind them, Momo. Like, come on, remind people who you are. People are forgetting about, like, with all of this hate bullshit. But I genuinely like the match. You know, like, it was, for me, it was my kind of wrestling. It was very much like a Momo match, but of course tuned like a little bit down, like for American audiences. So I didn't expect her to go like full insane crazy Mo like versus Shuri kind of match. But I really, really did enjoy it. I think it's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Mercedes match since she returned from injury. It was fully like my kind of wrestling, you know, just beating the shit out of each other. She had the best moneymaker sell that I've seen like so far. She just gets it. Like the whole thing, I feel like they matched each other pretty well. And Mercedes with Stardom Girls just never misses for me. Like since she left WWE, all of her best matches for me has been like with the Stardom Girls. You know, like the Mayu match, like Kairi, the Hazuki and Azumi match. That's still probably my favorite Mercedes Moné match. And now with Momo as well. I would love to see, just reinforce to me that I want to see Mercedes go to a 5-star Grand Prix. I think was really good, and it was definitely the match that she needed to have after the whole all-in fiasco to like remind people, like, hey guys, that was not my fault, you know, like I'm generally
for sure.
good. If I have like a hooper with me, I can deliver. So I enjoyed the match so much. I think it was the addition of everything, just me being glad to see Momo having that spot, them beating the shit out of each other, the whole thing, like that being the one match that she gets after all in, after the whole thing that happened. So it was for me, you know, I really enjoyed it. So
absolutely. And an update on the All Out card. We will do a full-on preview next week because this show came real fast. This show is happening next Sunday, I want to say, Monty. So I'm excited for that. We'll do a preview of that next week. But to just give you guys an update on the All Out card.
Because sweet, bro.
What did you say?
All Out's this week.
Yeah, what did I say?
You said next week.
Oh, I meant, fuck me. Jesus Christ.
It's Monday, bro. Come on.
Yeah, this is how you know I'm cooked, dude. I'm cooked. All Out is this weekend. That's what I meant in my brain. I just, whatever. But we'll do a full-on preview later on in the week then. But this card is shaping up to be unbelievable because we have Will Ospreay versus Pac for the AEW International Championship. Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander in the Chicago Street Fight. This was going to be for CMLL's Women's Championship, but they would not sanction that in this street fight. So no belt on the line. They're just going to fight. Yeah, that's so sick. That's so sick. They're just going to fight for pride's sake here. Chicago Street Fight. Willow, Chris Statlander. Get into it. I know I am. In a steel cage, Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland. They're finally going to go head-to-head here. The fans have been waiting.
Main event.
The fans have been waiting for this one. And MJF also is going to face Daniel Garcia. This one has been months in the making. Garcia's finally back. He said ruining MJF's life is his fetish. And he said it in that exact word. He was like, crippling you is my fetish. So he wants to kill MJF. That angle was sensational. I'm excited for that one. I'm also excited for this one, for the TBS Women's Championship. Mercedes Moné and Hikaru Shida are going at it. This is certainly going to be superior to the previous Mercedes match. Bryan Danielson will be facing the scapegoat, Shaq Perry, for the AEW World Championship. I'm going to ask you guys right now, match, I'm going to go one by one. Monty, match you're most excited for on All Out.
I don't know, either. Can't help you. Go to Anna first.
Anna, what match are you most excited for?
It's a tie between Pac and Ospreay and Hangman Swerve.
I am going to say, you know what? I'm going to be a hipster. The Chicago Street Fight between Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander. They are awesome wrestlers, and yet they've not had a great match with each other, and they've wrestled 2 or 3 times. But they're both down to do awesome, sick, gangster shit, and we've seen them in street fights tagging with each other, now against each other. What are they going to do? I was told by AEW that the match that they wanted to have could not happen at All In. So that tells you that they have big plans for this. So I'm excited, and I don't even think this is gonna be the best match on the show, but I'm just really excited to see what that's gonna look like. So I'm gonna say that one, and I'm also very much looking forward to MJF and Daniel Garcia. I think that's gonna be excellent. Monty, have you thought it through? Do you have a match you're most excited for?
Swerve and Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
I need the Cowboy to finally beat that man. You know.
I think you will. I think you will, because the build has basically been like, your career has been in a tailspin while I've been winning and I've been shining.
Hangman has to win this cage match, bro.
The build has
he
been
loses again.
the build has been you're a fucking bum, So hopefully the Cowboy gets his win back on Swerve Strickland, and we'll see where things go from there. But All Out looks fucking awesome. I will be locked in, and I'm excited. Before we get to the super chats, shout out to Kaito Kiyomiya. He won the N1 tournament victory finals. He had his title on the line in this match, Monty, against Keno. This was probably the 19,000th match that they've had. The previous Keno and Kaito match was advertised as their final match ever. That was a lie. And so they've wrestled again. Kaito retained his championship. He's also the N1 victory champion. Nobody was in the venue, and I was told that this match was disappointing, which is sad because they wrestled in January of 2023, and that was my match of the year for half the year. So what are you going to do? Yoshiki Inamura back on excursion. He's going to Progress for a few weeks, so good for him. Not really. And Ryohei Oiwa is leaving. He's going back to New Japan. He's going to face Kaito before he goes, and we'll see what he can do with New Japan. I'm very excited. So shout out to him and shout out to Kaito. With that, take us home, Monty. Let's go to these super chats.
Anna, I need you for this one. $4.99 Ricky Starks.
Am I supposed to read that?
Yes.
I guess so.
I would not say that second word again. I already gave you enough munition the one time. Sorry,
You're lucky I forgot what podcast that was on. I should have fucking recorded it or something.
I would not remind you. I would not do it again. You can read it, Ibu.
I'm not. Then no one's gonna read it. Fuck it. We'll just read it in our heads and then just move on.
Yes.
And that's assault on $5. I don't know why people don't talk about this, but Punk is fighting for a bracelet that's been in another man's underwear. If I was more invested, I'd support it.
Honestly, that was the most real part of the match. Drew McIntyre just took it from inside his underwear, and then CM Punk kissed it. I was like, yeah, same. That was the most I ever identified with him. That was real.
I didn't realize that happened, and my friend was like, that was on his cock, right? And I was like, what?
Super chat is I'll never say $4.99. Appreciate it as always. How would you rank these guys in order? Preference opponents for over Femi, Ilya Dragunov, Bron Breakker, Jacob Fatu, Gunther. Also, who would be the face heel in over Femi versus Gunther?
These ranking questions.
I'd go Ilya number 1.
That'd be amazing.
Ilya number 1. Gunther, Fatu.
Oh, Braun's the only one left.
Yeah, he froze.
Oh, Monty froze. I was like,
he's not thinking about this.
In
deep thought.
You only have one left, Monty. That ranking sounds fine, Monty. Face and heel and Oba Gunther. Oba would be the face, I think. And I think all those matches would be very neat.
Dan V, 900-999. Punk versus Drew was very average, where they couldn't make touching the four corners compelling, like Sting versus Vader or Eddie versus JBL. Bryan versus Ricky was significantly more brutal and used the strap more lack of intensity. Brother, you've just named the 3 greatest
strap matches of all time.
Strap matches in the past 30 years. So
yeah, those are really
if that's your bar, then okay,
Yeah, we said we liked the match a lot. I didn't say it was one of the best strap matches of all time.
Russia 279. Any idea on what haters' plans are past Soraya?
I'm not allowed to comment.
Dan
Hopefully
V,
good wrestlers.
The end of Cody versus KO makes this year of wrestlers being afraid to win the terrible TD 91.
Driver 91.
Sorry, it's incredibly lame and overly bro. Not exactly Abe versus Nomura, with friends killing each other. All right, bro. This take over the weekend has been killing me, because Kevin Owens did that kind of conflicted selling for 5 fucking seconds. People were talking about it like it was full on NXT Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, like, bro,
Should I
like,
do this?
I get some people kind of see that and automatically throw the hands up, eye roll sort of thing, but like, people were talking about it because there was a little bit of it, like it was full on like Jimmy versus Jey Uso at Mania, like there was a little bit of it, bro. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't that.
I think when it's like phrased like this super chat, I think it's just like you've blown it way too much out of proportion when you go back and watch how much of it was actually like in the match, you know, in terms of like the facials and trying to do like the melodramatic stuff, because it wasn't that like abhorrent or anything like at all. Am I crazy, bro? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I already spoke on it because someone was asking me why did I not have an issue with here, but you know, I normally don't like that type of thing, and I explained it like it's, you know, it's not like Cody is a friend of his rather than like a mortal enemy, and they're baby faces, and it's also the execution. It wasn't like a super long drawn out thing, which if it was, I would not have liked it.
Yeah, I don't think it was that abhorrent, you know. Big Hero Chris, $5. Jada progressed more in a few months than Britt did in 5 years. Anna definitely agrees. Dan V, $4.99. Gone for wearing the Brian Regal inspired gear, followed by the Brian Alvarez was awesome. He should beat Punk, leading to Punk's heel turn. Yeah, Gunther's the best, bro.
Gunther is expected to work Punk at SummerSlam. I mean, Survivor Series.
Matt Hennessy, $2.49. Crazy that TNA star.
All right, Anna.
Come on, you just said he had a good match. Come on, you can't do that bit right now.
I didn't say
Matt
good.
Hennessy.
I said
yes,
okay.
you did. Yes, you did. Matt Hennessy, $2.49.
Right.
Crazy that a TNA star beat a WWE star on WWE. Yeah, we didn't even really touch on that. Zachary Wentz versus Wesley. I thought it was a pretty decent match, to be fair. Trey Miguel getting involved made all the sense in the world.
The last minute was awesome. That last that ending was great. The ending was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
TNA getting chance in the 7K arena was cool. It was cool to see TNA get that support. Was that the last super chat?
Yes, brother.
Awesome. This show was very fun. We pulled off everything that I set out to pull off in a very, very short and thin time span. So I'm proud of myself. Yay me, pat on my back. Anna, you were great tonight. We're getting closer to you liking a CM Punk match. We're going to get there. Gunther's going to make it happen.
Probably the Gunther match, yeah.
Yeah, probably the Gunther match. We're going to find out who's next for Gunther tonight, folks. And all I can say is you guys are going to be very happy with Gunther's next opponent. And I will not spoil. But for those of you watching Raw, enjoy Raw. This has been WrestlePurists Worldwide. Make sure to watch the Raw review tomorrow. That'll be very exciting. I will be on with Rob. Jana will be there. And we'll be talking about what will be a very eventful show where we will know our contenders for the IC title and the next contenders for the women's tag titles. So for Monty, for Anna, I am Ibu of WrestlePurists. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next time.